I'm Lynn from Positive Young Minds blog, and I'm delighted today to invite Paula Madden from Evolving Soul Coaching to the Zoom room to take part in the debut of the Life After Teaching Chronicles. Her recent reviews speak of people getting support that have been transformational, and I know there's lots of educationalists out there who would benefit from her expertise. So today, hello.
Hi everyone.
And I've been working a bit with Paula as well on myself. We have had a chat, haven't we? And she's provided me with some support. So that was fantastic. And it's great to be able to share her expertise further. So today we're focusing on educational exit strategies for those interested in doing something else with their lives. So first of all, Paula, please could you just tell me a little bit about your background in teaching?
Yes, of course. I started teaching in 1997. I was a late vocation, as they used to call them back then. So I was 30 when I started teaching, and I taught until I taught for nearly 20 years. And I was a member of the senior management team. It was an infant school I worked in that was quite big. So that's why the infant and the junior were separate. And I was the spiritual director, which was in charge of all wellbeing things, and RE and stuff. And I was also the head of year one, because we had year heads to help.
It's a really fast-paced job, but did you enjoy it overall?
Overall, I did enjoy it. Yeah, it's lovely to work with children. I think year one's a really nice age as well.
Yeah, still full of inquisitiveness and wonderment.
Yeah, definitely.
So, could you tell me a little bit about your job now?
Well, now I'm a spiritual life coach and wellbeing practitioner. So I help people who are, women. I work with women who are living within a turmoil. They might feel anxious, stressed, and feeling quite low in their mood, and just feeling as if they're at the end of the tether and stuck. They don't know what to do to move forward. So I help them to kind of unpick what's going on in their lives, where they are now, like a baseline, similar to you would do in teaching, I suppose, and then set goals to move forward. And I support them to make the changes that they want in their life. I'm there for them, and I'm very gentle, because I think from my own experience, my nervous system was kind of shot, with the stress of teaching and stuff. And
Absolutely.
I help them to calm their nervous systems down, first of all.
It's quite a healing process, isn't it? So what was the catalyst then in your decision to leave the profession?
Well, I became ill. I was sort of coming down with things all the time, and just really, really stressed, because I was kind of in an achiever mode. I was pushing and pushing and pushing, and wasn't really listening to my body. I knew that the job had sort of become too much at that time, and I'd asked to go part-time, but I just became, in the end, too ill to carry on working. And I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, ME, and fibromyalgia. And then after a couple of years I ended up in a wheelchair and using a mobility scooter, but fortunately I found something called the Gupta program, which is specifically for those illnesses, and that was a coaching program. And I worked with some coaches from the Gupta program, and then I thought I wanted to help people, but I wanted to help them more on the emotional side before they got to that point of complete burnout.
So have you found that your symptoms have come back, or are they quite stable now?
Well, they're more or less gone now. I used EFT as well, emotional freedom technique, which is tapping around on the different meridian points on the body. And I use that I've done some training in that, and I use that as part of my coaching as well. It's all about energy, moving the positive energy and shifting negative energy around your body. And when you do become really stressed and you're producing all of those hormones like adrenaline, it's very difficult to get yourself out of that cycle.
I need to fantastic to use with children, isn't it? That technique as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and meditation, mindfulness, and things.
Excellent. And although those experiences must have been difficult at the time, they must also help you within your coaching.
Well, yes, because I know that there is a way out, that you can live a better life. At that time I felt like I was being grated on the inside. I was just felt trapped, and I didn't think there was any hope, but there is. You know, and that's one thing that I really want to pass on to other people, that there is hope. You can find a better way of living.
Brilliant. And that's what we want to achieve today, to provide some hope to those people thinking of exiting the profession. So what additional qualifications did you need to undertake for this new role?
Well, I did a Master Spiritual Life Coaching diploma that included energy psychology, and I'd already done some EFT training because I wanted to do a really high level personally. I mean, you don't have to do that. That's what I chose to do, and I wanted to be accredited as well. So I decided to embark on that course because it was an accredited course and I could become accredited myself. And I did all that training and like 60 hours of case studies and things to get the qualification.
I guess also that gives you the confidence you need in order to back it up, what you're saying and doing, all that extra work.
Yeah, and I wouldn't personally work with somebody who wasn't accredited, because anyone can set themselves up as a coach.
Yeah.
It's not licensed or anything in this country, so I thought I wanted to make sure I was backed up by an organisation that was international.
And that must help with insurance as well.
Yes, it was no problem getting insurance or getting put onto like life coaching directory. They won't accept people who aren't properly certified and accredited.
Okay. Excellent. So were any of the skills that you had in education transferable to this?
Yes, quite a lot really, because first of all, one of the most important things about coaching is asking open questions, you know, which is something that you learn as a teacher. And also helping people to strategize for their lives, you know, to set goals, and maybe they need to break their goals down or to really understand what the goal is. So all of those things, and mentoring as well. I think most teachers are mentors as well now, aren't they? I was a student mentor too. And I'd also done a coaching program while I was teaching called Leading from the Middle. So there's lots of crossovers.
I suppose also like the ability to break things down into more simplistic terms is very useful as well.
Okay.
So how would you describe your work-life balance in comparison to the teaching and SLT role that you left?
It's much calmer now. I've got a really good work-life balance. I feel more in control, and I think I've changed my mindset as well. I think because I was in the achiever mode, it was difficult to get that work-life balance because I felt as if there was always something else to do. But now I'm able to just listen and think, what do I need to do, you know, to look after myself? And I mean, in a holistic point of view, not as someone who's ill even. I've realised that we all need to take care of ourselves, you know, as well as doing our job. So it's much better than it was.
I think there's a few lessons I could take out of that as well. So what advice would you give someone who is considering a career change?
I think if you're able to financially, maybe just drop a day a week. Or maybe if there was something that you were really interested in when you were younger, see if you can do any classes in it or just do some reading around it. And I think the most important thing is not to be frightened about financial stuff. I know that's really difficult. I mean, I was thinking about losing my salary, but in the end, because I had looked at other jobs out of teaching, you know, because I was a late teacher, I was also like a secretary before. So I looked at office jobs and things, but was always worried about losing the money. And in the end, because I didn't listen to my body, I got to the point where I didn't have any salary anyway. So I would recommend looking at things just to connect to yourself. What did you really enjoy when you were a child? You know, what things really lit you up, and now even what your hobbies are. Could that be developed into a job? Something that you're interested in. But I think a good thing is maybe just if you can reduce your hours a little bit, see how you feel then.
I suppose if you're reducing your hours as well, you can consider your next career and possibly have an overlap so that you can actually gain a client base at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, or do some training on the day that you're off.
Brilliant.
You know, you might be able to do a class or something, or if you're doing some online training, you could spend that day doing that. Just remembering that there's always options. You've got choices.
Or of course you could book a coach as well to support you in your journey, because that's always going to be a useful thing.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. Sometimes you might find that you're not really aligned to your values. You know, when you get, it's like being on a kind of a hamster wheel, and you lose connection with yourself sometimes when you're in a really busy job, and you might have lost connection with what your values are. And when you discover them, you can
thinking about teaching is that the values that I went into the profession with are not the values that are in the profession now, just because of government expectations. For the people that want to go in for teaching for the pure joy of teaching, it's just not the same as it used to be.
No, definitely not. No, so there's other things you can do to save people, that save you as well.
Lovely. Well, thank you, Paula. You've certainly given me a lot to think about, and I'm hopeful that you've helped lots of other people as well on their journey. I'll put Paula's website in the chat or underneath, but it is www.evolvingsoulcoaching.co.uk if you'd like to explore that a bit further. So thank you so much for being with me today, Paula.
Thank you. And I'm going to be opening a Facebook group soon for women who want to mindset and spiritual growth.
Brilliant.
So that'll be coming up on Facebook soon.
Excellent. I'll be looking out for that one as well.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon, Paula.
Yeah, take care.
Bye.
Bye.